Sound.
Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to the night shift. I am Sharma ji. Now, with me today, I have the most hip, I have the most hop, I have the most happening entertainer in the world of entertainment. You know, vibe, it's her. Fashion sense, it's her. Confidence, it's her. Being relevant, it's her. Being made in India, it's her. Everything about her is, well, I want to sing two lines to introduce her. So, made in India, Raja Kumari ye hai made in India. Woo!
Hi.
Welcome,
What
welcome,
an
welcome.
intro.
Yeah, what did you do? I want to.
Like, I don't know. Just something. I'm just trying to be like MD. That's it.
You know, you choreographed your video, right?
Just a little
yeah. So
movements.
you got to do this with me right now.
Okay,
Come
what
on.
are we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Oh, I'm teaching.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, what did we do?
The made in India thing.
There was no dad.
Okay, so I'm going to sing again. Made in India, ye hai Raja Kumari, she is made in India.
And then this, you need the namaste at the end.
Of course, namaste.
That's the
Welcome,
best.
welcome
Thank
to
you.
the show. Take a seat,
I
please.
brought you sneakers and a sari.
Lovely. Now, wow, I mean, how gorgeous are you looking?
Thank you.
So first tell me, what is this? And I mean, only you could pull this off. I just love your earrings. And then there's this green, and then there's this multicolor, and then there's some, wow, turquoise sneakers.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we made in India, right? So this is a nor black nor white. My entire project, everything that I'm wearing for this entire release is all Indian brands. So these are homegrown brands. Nor black nor white is from Delhi. So they have the sari and we have the Gatorade Nikes on. You know how Nikes on my feet keep the cipher complete.
Yeah. But how much time does it take you to get ready? Because, you know, a compliment, I've been following her since she started off, and I'm just such a big fan. And I have to say, such an inspiration to millions of people around the world. Not once have I seen her being even slightly off in terms of a fashion sense. Tell me about this.
I mean, it's definitely a commitment. Fashion is life. And you have to be, I always tell people, pain is beauty, beauty is pain when they're pulling the tight buns. You know, sometimes it takes about 3 hours, I would say, to go into full character. But let me say that as a classical dancer, I'm well accustomed to that. You know, so since I was 6 years old, I've been in 3 hours of makeup, hundreds of pins, all that weight. So when it came time to do my music, there was no way I was just going to get up there in a t-shirt and jeans, you know, like it's not a performance unless it's fully put together. So I have fun with it.
So tell me, did dance come first or did music come? I mean, singing come first?
Dance came first, for sure. I think I learned about music through rhythm. That's why I think rap is what I leaned into more than singing. Obviously, I trained my voice and I wanted to sing like Christina Aguilera and Celine Dion. There was times, you know, but when I really like hit my stride was understanding the rhythms, like the, you know, the tals, like you know, Raj, Kumari, daughter of the king. Those things made more sense than trying to just write melodies at first.
Wow. So we're going to come back to Made in India because I really think this was the #1 song in, I think, 1995, yes. And then it just became, it represented India anywhere in the globe.
Yes.
You would talk about India and it was made in India. It was Alisha Chennai and of course the handsome Milind Soman in the video. Yeah, but you know, and now 25 or what, 27, more than that, 35 years later, my God, we have Raja Kumari doing Made in India. But I want to do that where you just did the classical, so I'm going to sing those two lines that I sang right in the beginning, and I want you to add your little ragas to it.
Okay, I'll try. This is a new attempt.
Yeah, so let's do it. Come on. Made in India. Made in India. Ye Raja Kumari
is made in India.
Hi!
I know you wanted me to sing that, but I was rapping it.
No, that is fantastic.
Raja Kumari.
So, Batao Raja Kumari, how did this song, I mean, out of all the songs, I mean, you're known for your original stuff.
Yes.
And to be able to take a song like this, which, like I said, was as big as a national anthem at that point of time.
Classic.
Yeah, a cult classic. And there are so many songs that have happened.
Yes.
How did you think that, okay, let me do a tribute? And if a tribute, why Made in India?
Oh, wow, great question. So my experience, like with identity of Indian culture, you know, came through in the diaspora. We get it in different little ways, right? So I have clear memories as a child watching Namaste America, which is our Saturday morning, 10 a.m., you know, Canada, US. I think we all have this one show. And growing up, that was our one opportunity to have, you know, Indian stuff on the television. And I remember seeing the video at that time. And I think, like, that was the first time I saw Indian pop star. And I think as a kid growing up in America that grew up around watching Madonna and like all these people, I craved for an Indian pop star. So I think that moment was so important that it imprinted on me. And I guess like as time went on, you know, I didn't think about that song as much. I went on my journey. I was American. I listened to the Fugees and, you know, all these people. But then when it really came down to it, and you know, recently I was thinking about making some new music, like, you know, releasing the new album. And my manager in America, he, you know, interpolations and remakes are so popular now, and he asked me, is there one song that every Indian knows? You know, and obviously there's so many Bollywood records, but like that's its own mess. Like I was like, I don't want to get involved in any of that. And it just struck me, and I pulled up the music video after so many years, and I was watching it, and I was literally shocked. Because I was like, is my entire aesthetic as an artist like from this video? Like, did it imprint on me as a child so much that I didn't have to watch it again for so many years, but it was so impactful. And actually that made me realize that I must be having such an impact on so many kids, because they only need to see it once for it to have such a vision, you know? So bringing that song back, I wanted to do it justice. Like, I don't do things unless it's proper. So it was like making sure everything is cleared, making sure everybody knows, you know, I didn't want to do the things that people do in Indian music sometimes. And yeah, I just wanted to bring it to a new audience, and I think it's a little tongue-in-cheek, because the original one obviously is like, I don't want a man that's not from India, which I totally relate to. I love that. Yes, I love that for myself as well. But, you know, for me, I think I go through this whole dual identity, and I discussed it on NRI in a very aggressive way, you know, like, sorry that my sorry ain't Indian enough when America don't love me because I'm Indian as, you know. So this time I think was a little bit nicer of saying it, and it's a little bit more acceptance. That's where I am in my journey, where I don't feel like I have to prove so much. And I just had to say something simple. You may think I'm not Indian. You may say because I'm born in America or I do things a certain way that I'm not Indian enough for you. Maybe in America you have the same idea in the diaspora. But one look at my face. Dekhna tu mera ye chehra. No matter where I go, they're not going to say that's an American. They're going to say that's an Indian.
That's Indian, yeah.
That is an Indian woman. And when I go around the world and, you know, whatever I'm able to do, you know, whether it's hosting the American Music Awards red carpet, or, you know, being in all these situations, like, you know, with the billboard in Times Square, representing India at the inauguration of Joe Biden, you know, like performing at those things, I'm there because of the support of India. You know, India gave me the platform when America wasn't ready for it. Now might be the brown renaissance. Now might be the time for all the brown artists to get their flowers. But when I started in 2014, 15, when I started putting music out, there wasn't that space for me. And I came to India, and India gave me the opportunity to become like who I wanted to become, like, you know, just transcend. So it's also dedicated to loving India and saying, you know, my career, who I am, is made in India. Also.
Wow, look at this, the lady with the voice. And just so that everyone who's watching and everyone who's listening knows that, you know, these selections just don't happen overnight. Just look at the thinking, look at the thought process that's gone into choosing that one song. And that's why Raja Kumari is, well, you know, she's a complete entertainer, like I said, who thinks from her heart, who thinks from her mind. And I think that's what makes all her songs so beautiful, and especially the lyrics. Now fine, there's the song. Now for the song, Madhuri Dixit. I mean, wow! Like, you know, I mean, look at this, right? I mean, I really, I mean, everything has been so meticulously planned. How
so over the top.
Yeah,
so over the top. Well, I'm dramatic, right? And so this is my first release. I always feel like when you are a good person and you have good karma, you know, you leave this energy with people around the world, and when it's the right time, you can ask someone to be there and help you. Yeah. So, you know, my relationship with Madhuri, I think I talk about it constantly. I'm obsessed with Madhuri. She knows it, and she loves it, so we're fine. So, you know, I've always been, you know, I made music with her, which you guys are going to hear very shortly. Yeah. She's releasing her first single as well on her birthday. I think everyone knows about. Okay. Well, I may have just spilled the beans.
We share the birthday. So.
Okay, so it's coming. So music, you know, Madhuri and I met each other in America, working on a project for her, an English project, and obviously, like, actually, to go back, one of my American friends was booked for it. And he was like, do you know who Madhuri Dixit is? And I was like, listen to me. If I'm not in that session with you, don't ever talk to me. Don't ever look at me. Just literally forget that we've ever been friends. Like, I need to be in that session. So aggressive. So he puts me in the session, thank God. And then he cancels 2 days before the session. I don't know. Maybe he didn't understand who she was. Somehow, by the grace of God, I like convinced them. I'm like, please allow me to do the session. I know I'm not the writer you thought, but I can do this for you. Please let me do this for you. So she comes. My publishers helped set the whole thing up. She came to the studio. We did our first song, and we were able to write it, record it. I recorded it on her, and we had an amazing time. And when I came to India in 2017, I had zero plan. Okay, so I came in 2016. I did my first shows, fell in love with India, was like, I can't go back to America. People know the words to my songs here. I can't go back where they tell me that I don't matter, because I matter here, you know? And I came with no plan, and I met her, like, let's make some more music. And I'm like, yeah, I'm just living in this hotel in like JB Nagar. And then she was like, no, you're not. You do not live there. And she just took me in.
Whoa,
yeah.
whoa. I mean,
she took me in, and I would credit her with the reason that I'm still in India. And that's also why she was thought of for this video, because there's a lot of reasons, you know, like my parents were not going to allow me to be in India alone. But my parents are also not going to ask me to leave Madhuri Dixit's house.
Right.
So she didn't know, but she's the reason I was there for a few months, and I was able to set up shop, find where I want, go to Bandra, figure that out, you know. But that relationship is many years now, and I always waited and waited. It's like there's going to be a time to ask her for something. And this was the right time.
Yeah, which was that moment? What happened exactly on that day?
Well,
and wow, I mean, I can see the magic unfold on screen. I will ask you about that.
Yeah.
How you choreographed her and everything.
Yeah.
But tell me about that moment when you actually went and asked her.
You know, we made the treatment. Christina Aguilera, she's a young, talented, my creative director. We sat together, we wrote the whole story, like out of our minds. Then it's a wide pan as it enters Madhuri's grand shot. The curtains are billowing and the lights come on as she turns. Like we wrote this whole thing, you know, we had this whole idea. And it was like, I needed her to be there, because when I think about India, my connections with India are like, okay, my classical dance coming and dancing here. But my real connections with India is watching Madhuri.
Of course.
You know, and for me, everyone knows, I always say stuff like, I am Madhuri Dixit with the plot. Because for me, I feel like I found myself in her. I saw how to be beautiful, how to be bubbly, how to dance, how to have my actions, you know? So for me, there's nobody bigger. You know, there's nobody that represents Indian culture better. And the idea for the video was to show strong Indian women, break stereotypes. That's why we show young girls in different professions. We showed all different types of girls. We had a lot of other ideas that didn't end up, getting in there, but just her understanding that it was the right time finally.
But tell me, I mean, wow, again, it's literally a 2 thumbs up. It's 2 tick points. One is a great song that was kind of remade. Then the choice of getting Madhuri in the video. Now, she's such a fabulous dancer.
Did you see that $1 million wink?
Yeah, I know.
End, I was
so tell me, you're a dancer. She's a dancer. How did you... I mean, was it awkward? Yeah, how was it on the set?
We had more plans, okay? But the dresses were not suitable for dance. You see that giant thing? So we had all these things we were going to do, and then it was like, no, we're just going to do this, because literally I can't lift my arm. We look crazy. But I think on set, I want to say that was the funnest. I think she had the most fun, because I keep her laughing. I'll just be like, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, the #1 film star in my heart. I'll just be, in the heart of Raja Kumari. And she'll just be laughing. She just loves, the jokes. And I'll be like, yes, you're a bad bitch. Yes, serve, Madhuri. Give me the hips. And she's like, no one talks to her like that but me. So she loves it and I love it. We had fun, I think you can see that. You see when she's dancing and I'm having fun. I'm just happy that everyone, that is captured on film. And people got to see, how timeless she is and how much she continues to inspire, and her just lending her energy to my video, first off, validated me in so many ways, because a lot of people I feel like I have a classic face. Like, had I been in the time of Madhubala or like, you know, Vaijantimala, like, I feel like those are my features. Where today, that's not necessarily what people value, you know? And when you look at Madhuri, you're like, she is the epitome. And I was like, well, I just want to be frame to frame with Madhuri.
But you know, the whole video, both of you are so comfortable. You can make out that Madhuri is having fun. She's being herself.
So fun.
You can make out that, you know, you're letting her do stuff. And, you know, both of you, there are times when you're in sync, there are times when you're just smiling. You know, there's that in-between, read between the lines where you guys... Were there any bloopers? Shots. Yeah, you need to tell me something that we need to watch.
There's funny bloopers. There's 2 shots where you just see what a fan I am. Like, and Madhuri knows this, no matter where I am. Like, we'll be out, you know, because when I first knew Madhuri, I didn't even have City Slums out.
Okay.
You have to understand, like, when I was in her house, that was prior to everything.
Wow.
So now, so many years later... I've like reached a position where me writing on her songs actually means something. Yeah, where before I was just like this unknown kid. Yeah. So it's really magical for both of us that it's coming out now. You know, and like we'll be places and like I know maybe some people know me, but she's behind me. So like I will be walking in somewhere and I'll be like, after she walks by, I'll be like, Madhuri Dixit just walked by you. And then they'll be like, in their head, they're like, Raja Kumari, you know? And I'm like, forget me. Madhuri is here, you know, like I just love her. I'm obsessed with her.
So, which is your favorite Madhuri song? And I want you to, if it's okay.
That's it. That's all I'm giving.
Okay. And now, Made in India, please. We need your version, your rendition.
I'm just kidding. Made in India, made in India. You can see I'm made in India. Oh, all around the world, no matter where I'm from, they gon' know I'm made in India. No brakes, hit the gas and I'm gone. My face up on the Megatron, a billion. I'm great and I'm second to none. One take and I'm getting it done. I'm really on. When real see real, we recognize. Can't fake the fire in my eyes. Dekhna to mera ye chehra. Made in India. You sing.
Made in India.
Let's go.
Raja Kumari, made in India. Whoa,
all around the world, no matter where I'm from.
This is Raja Kumari, she's made in India.
I love that. Remix.
Yeah.
It.
Okay, so, you know, Bollywood Top 20 is the name of the show, and you're on the show, and this is being watched and heard by millions of people around the globe. Any message to the Indian diaspora, because that's where you come from, and you know you've been through the struggles, you've been through those initial phases. So tell me, if there are musicians there who want to do what you're doing, what are the 2 or 3 things that you want to tell them?
Oh wow! Well, first off, I just want to thank everybody for listening. You know, supporting even my Bollywood music. Like, I know, like, I sound different in Bollywood, but, like, Vakra Swag has, like, saved my streaming numbers. We call it me and Lisa Mishra call it the blessed Vakra Swag. We're like, thank you, Vakra, for keeping our numbers alive. So, you know, I love Bollywood. I'm happy that, you know, these types of diaspora shows are all over. I would say that the world is opening up, that people love talent, they love real art, and I think that, you know, more artists, if you want to come to India, what I would say is one thing that I would say to the diaspora. When you come to India, don't just think what you can take from India. We all come here for 3 days. We shop as much as we can. We shove our suitcases full of jewelry and bindis and snacks and we leave. And I think that there's a difference there. I think that if more artists came and invested their time in India, invested their time into the music scene here, you know, like I'm invested in the education. If you guys come back and you influence the artists here, I think India will give you more. So if you really are serious about having a career in India and having that, you know, go all over the world, just make sure you come and spend some time and give back.
Wow, thank you. The last 3 questions now. The Night Shift is all about music, films, life and times of the 70s, 80s and 90s. Let's focus on the 90s. Who were your biggest international artists while growing up?
See, I only listened to like A.R. Rahman when I was growing up. I feel like the Rangila soundtrack was like always spinning. And I think in America, Michael Jackson in the 90s, for sure. Michael Jackson. But mostly it was really Bollywood and Telugu music in my house, like a lot.
But in terms of singers, international singers, who were some of the singers that you looked up to?
Indian ones or
American ones?
Yeah, I think Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
He made movies. And also Michael was the first person to put an Odissi dancer, a classical dancer in his
black
video.
or white, yeah.
So that was the first time I ever saw my own representation in film and screen. So Michael always made movies, and I think I'm forever inspired by Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Any song that I can play for you?
Black or white?
Okay. You also mentioned Christina Aguilera. And
That was that's 90s also? It's 2000s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Late 90s, yeah.
I'd say, anybody that, this is funny. I was a super NSYNC fan. Like, insanely crazy. And, I loved Christina. I used to have almost identical voice to her. It took me time to, learn that I should have my own voice. But I used to sing exactly like her. And I think that's actually why I started with pop music. I was doing classical dance a lot during that time. And I would try to raise money for charity. I had worked with the Vegasna Foundation in Hyderabad. I still, to this day, work. It's for handicapped children, and they do a lot of services for them, and it's a school for them. So I had seen, I built a meditation hall there. So I'd seen a physical thing built from my art, that I could sit inside. But I was trying to raise money for this Indic Foundation, which is still trying to raise money, okay, guys, in California. And I had raised $80,000 in one night, okay? I had called my entire auntie and uncle network. I had fleeced my rich uncles. I was like, give me a $20,000 check, because it was for education, and I fleeced them. And at the end, I found out that they needed $2.5 million, and that $80,000 just went to operational costs. And we just had to start over again. We needed the money again. That stressed me out so much, because I was like, my dance platform is not big enough. And at that time, I was obsessed with Christina, Britney, Justin Timberlake. And I used to think, if Justin Timberlake mentioned the Indic Foundation, it would be funded before he even walks off the podium. I need to become a pop star. And that was the birth of becoming a pop star for me, because I was like, I am tired of it not being enough to actually affect change.
But now you are.
Now I am, yes.
And do you love it? Do you love it? Now when you go back, when you were talking, I could see you visualize each and every moment that happened with you, 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And today you're able to influence, you're able to make that change. How does it feel to be in that seat now? The Raja Kumari then?
Yeah.
Looking at the Raja Kumari of today.
There's a lot of reflection, I think, because it's an independent release, because I've come so far. I really thought so many people were going to be the ones that would do it for me. It's so liberating to know that I'm going to do it for myself. And I hope that others see that and learn earlier. Maybe not waste so many years thinking that a man or somebody else or someone outside of your culture would understand your culture more. I feel amazing. I feel excited. Right now, this is the first of there's a 5-song EP is coming on the 13th, and I already have an album ready for September, October. So this is the year of Kumari. Lots of music.
Oh, lots of music. This is Made in India. We're starting off with Made in India. So here's a rapid fire. I'm going to be throwing a couple of things at you.
Okay.
And you need to tell me if you believe Made in India is better, like say, for example, cappuccino. You could say no, or you could say Made in India. Okay,
garam chai.
So whichever. So let's go. Cappuccino.
No, Made in India garam chai, bro.
Okay.
Adrak wali chai is better.
Pizzas.
Pizzas? Okay, no, New York, America. Please, pizza's a problem here. The cheese is an issue.
Boys.
Boys made in India.
Girls.
Also made in India. Come on.
Fashion.
Fashion made in India, please. I'm tired of... I can't deal with the fashion at home.
Music.
Music? What kind of music?
Yeah, I know you're going to ask me. But generally, if you just kind of take music as a scene, everything about music.
I think things will change. But right now I'm going to say America because of quality control. And I would love to help raise the bar here for more musicians to have them access better mixing engineers and mastering. And understanding that those things will make us internationally competitive. That's... Yeah.
Films.
Films, India.
Yeah. And Raja Kumari. Raja Kumari here in India, or Raja Kumari in LA, or Singapore,
you want to know
UK.
You want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I'm happiest in India. I know I always wonder, people, I just wonder, when did we decide that America was the end all be all and that it was the best place to live? I enjoy my life in America. I love driving my car. I love being with my family. I love California, Mexican food and avocados. I love it. I love being there. But how I feel in India, I feel so much stronger, so much more empowered. I feel that what I do makes an impact. I hope one day that I feel like that in America as well. But for me, when I imagine my perfect life, you know, it's in India.
Great.
It is.
Thank you so much.
you.
And here's to the year which belongs to Raja Kumari, 2022 and the next 10 years.
Kumari season.
Yeah, it is. Her season has begun. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
94.3 Radio 1.